Hey guys, DJ here at Top Tech Cards and Games, and today I'm actually going to do a Force of Will deck profile. It's been a while since I made one, I know. I've kind of been having trouble keeping up with a bunch of games at the same time. Finally got back around to keeping up with Force of Will and found a deck I actually like. Surprisingly, I'm probably one of the few people in the world who was really, I don't want to say upset, but like disappointed by the Reflect ban. I thought that card was a lot of fun to play. I like playing with broken cards. It's something I like to do, and I really like the way the various Reflect decks played. The combo decks, the Gwyber decks, and that's what led me to build this deck once I saw it, because it is a Gwyber deck. The deck list looks a lot like an old Reflect deck list. It plays similarly. It's got Gwyber. Fiethsing gives it a different dimension, which I like a lot, but yeah, so let's just get into the list. Let's talk about the stones first. We have 4 Roller's Memorias. This is a 4-color deck. If you hit a Memoria, your mana is basically great every time. If you don't, you can have a little bit of a struggle. Then we have 2 copies of Heat Ray, 2 copies of Blasting Waves, 1 copy of Light Vapor, and 1 copy of Deepwood. It basically just worked out the best way to have the number of different colors that I could. Like 7 white sources to get Gwyber early as often as possible. 8 red sources because we have a lot of early red drops. 6 blue sources. We don't have that many early blue drops, but we do need to get blue fairly early. And yeah, so that's just how the mana came about, really, in 7 green sources, which is actually probably a little low, but Fiethsing, getting the energy counter for green, kind of makes that okay. You're actually choosing to go second every time with this deck, in my experience, too, because you want the energy counter that badly so that you can turbo out a turn 1 Gwyber. So what Fiethsing does is whenever you play your second spell for the turn, it puts a 1/1 elf token into play. And that lets you play like a Regalia, 1-mana creature, get an elf, and now you've played 2 creatures for Gwyber. It also lets you spam out tokens to set up to tap out for Titania or to sacrifice to play Drake. So we're playing a lot of Gwybers. Let's just go into the deck list. First we have 4 Gwyber, kind of a staple in a turbo Gwyber type deck. I'm sorry the lighting here isn't great. These don't look... I think you can tell what they are. If not, whatever. We'll worry about it later. So 4 Gwyber, it's just the backbone of the deck. You're trying to play Gwyber turn 1 or 2 every game. 2 Titania. It's a little bit of a slower Gwyber, but you don't need to play creatures that turn. They can have been sitting in play, and you just tap out. Tap the creatures. Each one counts as 2 mana to play Titania. And then 1 Drake. Drake's backwards Gwyber. It's for creatures that died that turn. So we get to play this guy. Because we're playing Drake, we have a small red engine. We have 4 Ruck Egg and 4 Guinevere to sculpt our hand and search out one of our threats. Additionally, for a Ruck Egg target, we have 1 copy of Keeper of the Past, Earther. My B. And this is just another kind of small tech piece. You can search off Ruck Egg and it's removal. So kind of just diversifies what you can do a little bit as opposed to just only searching out more like filtering and drags. So it's able to search out a removal spell, which is pretty good. After those, we have some more enablers for Gwybers. We have 4 Familiar of Holy Wind and 2 Alice's Soldier, my bad. These are just good 1-drops that you can just play out with basically no repercussions. In the case of Familiar, you're playing it and just get to draw a card while contributing to your board for Gwyber and Titania. Alice's Soldier is also just very low cost. You put it into play. When it dies, you draw a card, and it's got a lot of ways to die with Guinevere and 4 Adambrale. Adambrale helps set up by putting an extra creature into play using stuff you had in play already to spend your mana more efficiently. It also sacrifices to make mana, draw you cards, tutor off Ruck Egg, or be used as a removal spell in that case. It just really has a lot of utility in the deck, and you're always going to get some sort of value off of it since you're putting so many creatures in play. For spells, we have 3 Seal of Wind and Light. We're never going to be able to use the effect to make it uncounterable, but countering anything for 2 mana is very strong. And our mana is in a way where our green and white is on different stones, so we should be able to do it most of the time. Hasn't come up as an issue yet. I also have 2 copies of Charlotte's Water Transformation. This is just the most efficient removal spell I felt. It's really a catch-all, and it gives you something else profitable to discard off Guinevere. And then 1 Sprint of the Beast Lady. Sprint's just an extra win condition if you have all your little weenies and elves sticking around but your opponent's dealing with your Gwybers fairly efficiently. You can just make all these guys into 7/7s and bash your opponent's face in for lethal. And then finally we have our Regalia, which are in the deck to make our Roller's Memoria take, but also have a lot of utility. 3 Interdimensional Vessel Apollo. Apollo is used basically always just to bounce your Gwybers to dodge removal spells, but like when you're playing 1 mana 12/12s, Sacrificing this to blank your opponent's removal and set yourself back on tempo isn't that bad, since your tempo loss is just another 1 mana play. So you just dodge a kill spell, play another Gwyver, and your opponent has to answer the Gwyver again, but you're trading very efficiently on mana. This card actually could easily be a 4 in the deck, but I wanted to kind of diversify a little bit more. Then we have 2 copies of Artemis. Artemis is fine. Deals with weenies, helps in extremely aggressive matchups, helps you push through damage sometimes if your opponent is playing a similar strategy, so you can like nug their tiny blockers whenever they try to block a big Gwyver, but they all fly, so that's not that common. These might be better off as different regalias, I don't know. 2 Death Scythe. Just super profitable to discard with Guinevere. It's great because in those situations you're able to pitch it, then bring it back to your hand and still like sandbag a 0 mana spell for whenever you need an extra spell to force a Gwyver turn through. And then 1 Horn of the Spirit Beast, or Sacred Beast, my bad. Just Graveyard Recursion, fine card, does everything you need it to do. It's a 1-of in the deck, and I don't think there's a reason to play more than 1, but we needed an extra Regalia for Ruler's Memoria. I think 8's the sweet spot for that. So I think these are kind of interchangeable. You definitely want 3 Apollo. I think you definitely want to play Death Scythe and the Horn, but I think these Artemis slots can be basically anything else you want. I want to play more copies of these. You could play more of this, and there's a couple other Regalias that I could consider playing, but I like this lineup. The other thing that I liked for Regalia was playing 4 copy of, oh man, I can't remember the name of the one that cycles now. It's on the tip of my tongue. Let me know down in the comments what that card's called if you guys watch and remember the Regalia that you can force a creature to block or pitch an extra copy to draw a card. I don't remember what it's called, but that's okay. But yeah, so my camera is going to die, so I'm just going to cut this one a little bit short, actually. This is Fiethsing Gwyver Turbo. It's a lot of fun. Forcible is a really great game. I'm happy to be playing it again, and I hope you guys are interested. Let me know down below, and we'll have more Forcible videos coming soon if you want some. Thanks, guys.